What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Movie Emporium's movie review of Jurassic World Dominion, the final film in the Jurassic World Trilogy that is once again directed by Colin Trevorrow. Now, before we begin, if you like this video, awesome, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium, hit that notification bell at top to find out what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome, hit that like button as well as commenting below on any video that you watch, including this one. So Jurassic World Dominion takes place after an undetermined amount of time after Fallen Kingdom. Of course, we know that the dinosaurs were let loose upon the world for some idiotic reasonings. Basically, the dinosaurs have somewhat integrated themselves into this world. Yes, they are still an invasive species and they are killing people. But for the most part, everything seems to be leveled out, I guess you could say. It's really just a strange thing that Jurassic World has done with this trilogy. But in the process of everything, Blue, who is the Velociraptor, now has a baby, and that baby gets kidnapped, as well as the young girl, who of course is now being taken care of by Owen and Claire, by about a couple poachers who are part of this group called Biosyn, which is run by Lewis Dodgson. And if you know Lewis Dodgson, he of course is was in the original movie, who was talking to Nedry. But they need Blue, and they need, of course, this young girl for specific reasons, and of course Owen and Claire go after her to save her, as well as Blue. So in the process of everything, because this brings back some legacy characters, we are also reintroduced back to Alan Grant and of course Ellie Sattler and Ian Malcolm, who become integral parts to this eventual conclusion to this trilogy. And it basically sees, which I won't spoil, but it's a very strange reason for what this movie even has purpose for, because it's not in the trailer. But in the process of everything, there's a reason for this whole thing to start, cavalcading upon itself. And we see two sides of this Jurassic series kind of coming together in this eventual conclusion to this trilogy, as well as, I would say, the capper for the whole Jurassic Park series in a lot of aspects. And in the process, like I said, you just have dinosaurs and chaos, and it's a Jurassic World movie, I guess you could say. So I've always been truthfully honest in my opinions of movies. People don't like my opinions sometimes, and that's fine, but the reason I say that is the Jurassic World series, to me, especially up to Dominion, has never been what I would call fun filmmaking, to be fairly honest. It feels a very one-note retread of, the original series or the original trilogy, and I never felt that Jurassic World truly was very special. I felt it was very boring and bland, uninspired in a lot of aspects, taking so much nostalgia that it felt like, once again, like Force Awakens, where it just never felt like it really had a good grasp of what made Jurassic Park so special. And it feels like they were just throwing CGI at the books and CGI at the world and throwing some one-note characters and saying, here's a movie. And a lot of people liked it, which is perfectly right, and it made billions of dollars or whatever. But as you can see, when it came to Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, that movie is an absolute travesty. It really is. It doesn't make any sense. The characters are doing stupid things. They make stupid decisions. And it just, once again, borrows heavily from, of course, Lost World Jurassic Park. And on top of that, there's a volcano on Isla Nublar. I don't think John Hammond was that stupid in going to an island to set up Jurassic Park and then setting it with a dormant volcano. It just doesn't make any sense. Bringing back Colin Trevorrow, bringing back the legacy characters, I'm like, okay, I'll see this because I've watched every other movie in the theater, but my enthusiasm is very tempered. I don't feel like this is going to be a very good movie. I don't think the trailers were that great, to be fairly honest, and I just feel like that, maybe the director is just not what this movie's series is meant for. Maybe the series just doesn't need to happen anymore. I don't know, but it's been very frustrating. I know some friends who are big fans of the Jurassic Park series, and I want them to have a good series, a good trilogy, and it just hasn't happened, at least since Lost World. So as you can tell, I went into this very low key, and after watching Jurassic World Dominion, it's just not a very good movie. I'm just going to be straightforward with you. It's not a good movie. Yes, it's way better than Fallen Kingdom, but the logical reasons of everybody on board in this movie, the ideas of what they're doing, the concept of what this movie's even about is the most idiotic thing I've ever seen. This is an embarrassment to Michael Crichton, who created this series, and it's just, I don't feel that Colin Trevorrow and the cast and crew really get why the series was so great when Jurassic Park came out, because all it is monsters on the screen, chasing after people, killing people, no logic, rhyme, or reason. Even the three legacy characters are so uninspired and unoriginal, and very just kind of, all the dialogue that spouts out of their mouth is just bad. And it just, I don't think this movie is like the worst thing I've ever seen. You know, it's not as bad as Fallen Kingdoms, and I think that's a problem. It once again brings in an evil corporation, and once again they're doing something evil. And you know, why don't we move past that? You know what would have been more interesting? Trying to live in a world with dinosaurs. We see that at the very beginning of this movie, and it's fine, and I thought that was kind of cool, but it completely abandons that stuff for a kidnapping story, and then some other stuff. And then, you know, having Dodgson brought back was a cool idea, but then he's just really just kind of, it's just a very, you've seen it before. This whole evil corporation nonsense you've seen a million times before, and then the story, even with the dinosaurs and like the action sequences, it's all been done a billion times before and way better. You know, the chase sequence with the velociraptors, and it's in the trailer with the velociraptors, and I think it was Malta or something like that, is probably the best moment in this movie. And even it feels like self-serving and just kind of bland and not really that interesting. And that's the problem. It just, I guess I just kind of given up on the Jurassic series. I don't feel like there's anything of note. This is like Transformers all over again, where I just don't feel any interest and intrigue of watching these movies. And like I said, I did go into this movie hoping for something entertaining, and there was entertaining moments in this movie. But in the long run, the Jurassic World Dominion movie is just not a very good movie. Like I said, the CGI, some of the CGI moments are not that great, to be fairly honest. They're a little underwhelming, and I think that's a problem with CGI in general in these day and ages, because they're so fast paced in what they have to do. But I do say that, you know, in the end, it's not as bad as Transformers when it comes to storytelling and aspects, because it is still trying to deal with like ecological situations and disasters. But that's the other thing about this movie. The ideas of when they show the world that is living with the dinosaurs isn't really well utilized and really well presented and really well propped up. It really feels like there's an interesting concept there, but it feels like they're so focused on just a singular purpose that it just doesn't allow the world to breathe. That's the thing. It's just so focused on the interior that the exterior just doesn't work. And the moments that do truly shine, when you do see the dinosaurs among the people or dinosaurs among other creatures, it's just so few and far between. And I don't know. I really wasn't on board. Maybe it's just my, nature of just not liking this franchise. I don't know. But it is cool to see like Sam Neill and Jeff Goldblum and Laura Dern back. They do feel like they have chemistry together. I just wish they were written better. It just, I think it's the fact that we remember them so well in that original Jurassic Park series that we're willing to forgive that they're in a series, especially the ending capper to the series, that is just not, well, it's not put together. This is like, unfortunately, like the Rise of Skywalker of the series, and I don't know. Like I said, you bring back legacy characters, and you just don't justify any real interest in them with them. But it is nice the fact that they are in the movie quite a bit, so that is helpful. They're just not in it for like 2 seconds and they're gone. They actually have integral parts of the story. And I think another major problem with this movie is just the length of it. It's like a 2-hour and 25-minute movie, and I don't think it needed to be that long. I don't think it needed, that's why when I go into the story structure problems, that's kind of the main problem. Is it kind of, like I said, the main focus of this movie is the main problem, and it's exasperated because of that length of the film. So with that said, in the end, Jurassic World Dominion is just not a very good movie. I know a lot of people will enjoy it, which is perfectly all right, but this series of the Jurassic series has lost steam. It doesn't feel fresh or new or interesting or intriguing anymore. It's just one-note characters being chased by creatures and horrifying dinosaurs, and I didn't really care for it. So that's unfortunate, but it is, kind of the consistent nature of the Jurassic World series. Like I said, it'll still make a lot of money. So as we see, I think it's made like $60 million in other countries. So anyways, with that said, that is my take on Jurassic World Dominion. Wish for something better. Didn't get it. So anyways, comments below. Are you looking forward to this movie when you eventually see this movie, which a lot of people will? Let me know what you think of the movie. Otherwise, if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top. The fun's coming next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button. And as always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.